Howdy. I want to make a video, and I want to try and see if I can give somebody a little bit of guidance on what might come to pass and everything. And I don't live in the United States, so my decisions are my decisions. But I want to give you this information as maybe an idea that you might want to run through your head. Now, if you live up here in the United States, say you live in a big city, and you got your house, and you live in suburbs, or you live right in the middle of the city and everything like that, I want you to take into consideration, where your house is in relation to the city central is. Now, the reason I'm saying that is, if it's just an idea, but if a terrorist was going to try and attack something, I would guess that they'd probably be wanting to try it around the city center. And if they was going to do that, then it's just an idea. I may be all wrong. Excuse me. It makes sense that if you're living in your house, the windows and the doors and the walls that are towards that city center of your house would take a direct hit, from the explosion coming off of it. Now, if it was me, and your wife will let you do it, I would cover them windows with blast blankets, and I mean the very best you could, or I would completely, do my dead level best to seal off them windows on that side of the house. Now, put a wall up outside, or seal off that room completely. The reason is, all the dust and the garbage that gets blown into your house, at light speed coming off of a nuclear explosion, is going to contaminate your house. Okay? I would say that that's going to be one of the main things that, the primary things that you're going to want to think about, because they're not going to give you any warning. I mean, think about it. The government didn't have any warning about 9/11, and they don't have no warning, about what, well, they're planning it. I mean, but they ain't going to give you no warning. They ain't going to give me no warning. I mean, so then think about this. If they were to hit city centers and try and destroy cities and do the most impact with terrorism, they will probably hit big cities. So the further you are from the city center in a big city would probably be best. Now, I don't know. I mean, I'm just grasping at straws here, but I'm just trying to think through this, because, I mean, God gave us a mind to think, and we ought to use it. Now, if it was me, I'd pack up and head on out, because, I mean, it only makes sense, to go ahead and get out of town. And, find some place that's better. Okay, another thing, in relation to a big city, if there's any mountains around that big city, and they were going to, I mean, they might try and I mean, generally, let's just talk about this for a second. If there was an attack by a foreign government, and they were going to attack our country, they'd probably want to hit a military base. So if there's a military base in your town, that's another target. So you'd want to think in your mind, if they're going to hit a military target, where am I in compared to that military target? I'd want to be as far away from them as possible. I'd want to be on the backside of a mountain from them, so at least it deflects that blast, away or up and over or whatever, and everything. Now, another thing I want to tell you about. You realize that all of your electronics on the backs of your electronic devices and everything, and I'm just going to use this for an example. Well, this ain't got it, but your telephones and whatnot. Generally on the back of them, they got a sticker, and that sticker will say this device complies to Part 15 of the FCC code, whatever, you know. Basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to tell you that device must accept any harmful interference and must not cause any harmful interference. And it must accept the harmful interference even if it causes undesired, activity or, malfunction and everything. Well, the thermomagnetic pulse that comes off of a nuclear weapon detonation goes out. So when that thing goes out, it's going to wipe out all your electronics. It's going to wipe out your electricity. It's going to wipe out your computers. It's going to wipe out your telephones, your cell phones, the computers on your cars, the gas pumps. It's going to wipe out everything. Anything that has an electrical battery plugged into it and that electricity is running through that item, that piece of whatever is going to fry. Okay? Now these things here, you might as well just throw this phones away, man, because these phones are not going to function after a nuclear weapon. And the reason I'm saying that is, the towers ain't going to receive your signal. None of your devices are going to receive your signal. You're going to be incommunicado. You're going to be not able to communicate with anybody. So you need to have a contingency plan. Now, this is what I recommend. They got a lot of states have these relic laws, on different or junker laws and stuff like that on old cars. Well, the reason is an old car has points that come together and they touch, inside the distributor. And with those points touching, that's a mechanical function. And that mechanical function is going to continue to function, because it's mechanical. So when you're cranking your engine over and everything, that distributor is opening and closing in points. And it's going to cause that spark to go to your spark plug and ignite your gasoline, and it's going to make your engine run. Okay? Well, diesel fuel engines work on compression. And every time that piston comes up, it compresses the air and compresses the fuel, and it makes that fuel ignite under compression, and it pushes the piston back down. So it comes up and down, up and down. Okay, diesel engines of the old kind that are not computer controlled will probably be one of your best bets. So if I were to give you a recommendation, go out and find you some old diesel pickup. Pre-computer style diesel pickup. You're going to want a bug out buggy, bug out Bob, bug out Bubby. You're going to want to put together something so that you can get out of town like that. Okay? First thing you need to think about. You're not going to have but one time to get out. And let's say that all of a sudden your city is attacked. Your city's attacked by some terrorist, by a nuclear weapon or something like that. You know what you need to do? You need to get in your car, you need to get your bug out bag, Bob, and throw it in your car, your buggy, or whatever you're going to get out of town on and everything, and you need to get out of town like that. You need to be out of town within, I'd say, 3 hours at the most. You know why? Because 3 hours, they're going to have perimeters set up all the way around that city. So if that happens, they're not going to let you out. Okay? But in that first 3 hour period, your doors are open, and you need to know the ways out of that city. Now, you can try and defend your house, and you can try and sit there and think you're going to weather the storm and different things like that, but I'm going to tell you something. It ain't going to be no fun. It ain't going to be no fun anyway. But I would rather take my chances, and have my sleeping bags packed, my tent packed, have my 5-gallon buckets full of beans and rice, and have my water tank and things like that ready for me to go someplace. Hey, I'm going to get right back with you on the next segment. Thank you.